You nod politely while your brain takes a nap mid-title. Historians still argue whether these layers were intended to maintain social order or to entrench competition so deeply that no noble ever had the time or clarity to rebel. You suspect the latter. The French obsession with rank bordered on spiritual. Nobles spent fortunes ensuring their family names were etched into the right registries, and that their daughters married into exactly the right level of prestige. And at the top of the pyramid, the princes sang princes of the blood. These weren't just royals. They were a divine category of humans who believed they perspired more regally than the rest. Then came the dukes et pairs dukes, who were also peers of the realm, meaning they had the right to sit in parliament and sneer at everyone else. Below that, marquis, congs, vicomtes, and barons, each step a meticulously maintained rung on an invisible ladder. Each title came with ancient lineages, privileges, and sometimes utterly symbolic lands with names like Saint Cloud Subrum, which roughly translates to the cloudy nothing town. There's a fringe tidbit about a marquis who insisted his estate was founded by Merovingian kings, despite all records showing it was actually a goat pasture until about 1630. But if you repeat a lie with enough embroidery, it starts to feel legitimate. And unlike other countries, the French aristocracy often styled themselves with layers of inherited, ceremonial, or just aesthetically pleasing titles that had no legal standing whatsoever. It was all about presentation. One nobleman had a name so long it required its own calling card case. Louis Charles Francois de Bourbon, Duc de Vendôme, Marquis de Noirmoutier, Baron de Mondragon, Seigneur de Lecluse, and Knight Grand Cross of the Order of St. Louis. By the time you finished introducing yourself, desert was over. And yes, there were etiquette books written just to explain who bowed to whom and how deeply. Imagine needing a flowchart to know if you could speak before sipping your soup. You wander past salons where powdered nobles debate poetry, and you overhear one deeply offended that someone referred to him as merely a comte, when in fact he was a marquis. The difference? Technically, a marquis oversaw borderlands marshes, while a count ruled interior regions. But in practice? By the 18th century, most of these distinctions were ceremonial. Still, to the French noble eye, calling a marquis a count was like calling a Tesla a tricycle. Even royal mistresses got involved.